like podcasts, but get bogged down by the monotonous themes and structures for topics? Do you tire of constantly learning useful information? Well, have no fear. We have no structure, we have no information. We just have a grand old time.
And we're back. Here we are for another great week. Welcome back, Christopher.
Welcome back, Austin.
You know, this is, I'm excited for week 11 of Ramble Hour.
12.
12. Man, I'm falling behind. It is 12. It does say 12 there.
Yes, week 12.
It's weird being in double digits, man.
It's insane. Because okay, 12 episodes, that's not that much. That's 12 weeks though.
12 weeks.
Which that's a long time.
Of us talking and people listening.
Yeah, and there's 52 weeks in a year, so we're already a fifth of the way done. I mean, it's pretty insane, but it's been exciting to say the least.
It's been an exciting time. So tell me, how's your week been?
It was pretty good. It was just super busy with work, so other than that, it's been kind of just movies, TV shows, taking Pippa for a walk. We've been doing a new park. Over by the house called Kikarillo.
Okay.
It's really nice. It's 2 miles of an actual pavement track and then a mile of a little dirt track.
Oh, nice.
So we normally do that and it exhausts her. We've been running more than walking, but it's been fun. And she turned 7 months this week.
So when you say running, are you running?
Yeah.
Let me say, are you running with the dog or is the dog running and pulling you?
So no, 100% pulling me. 100%. People walk by oh, who's walking who? I'm like, clearly she is, sir. Keep walking.
Let me be. I understand.
No, but she's a hot mess. We're getting ready to buy one of those collars to leash trainer.
Oh.
She's good, but it's just once she gets out there, she just gets so excited and she wants to do it all. So
yeah.
We take turns. So one of us will run. So I have to run at Alex's pace because otherwise Pippa loses her mind if we separate.
Got it.
Absolutely. Whoever goes farther, she's I have to be by them. So one of us will run in front. The other person will stay behind and hold Pippa on the leash so Pippa can run next to the leader.
Okay.
But it's she won't run with the leader. It's very weird. She knows, it's in her mind, it's I have to be connected to the person behind because I know they're holding me. And I have to be seeing this person out of the corner of my eye the whole time.
Oh, gracious.
But other than that, she's good. And then it's she decides at the most random times to just dart off and try and smell something.
And it's when you're running too, of course. So you can't stop on the drop of a dime like they can.
Right. When you're taking the walk break, she's okay. And then as soon as you start running, you get in that good pace. She's nope, I'm going to smell this tree. Yep.
And generally it's right in front of you too.
Yeah.
So
and
you're going down.
Exactly. You're trying to jump over her and then you're tripping. It's a mess.
No, I understand it. That's why I can't run with Sloan for that specific reason.
Yeah. But no, 7 months, pretty exciting. How's your week been?
Man, I have had the week.
Let's
put it that way. I've had the week. So I think we talked about it a little bit on the last podcast. I was going to get a king size bed, right? Get a new bed. So kind of debacled out, right? That the mattress didn't arrive on time, of course. It didn't arrive
until the shipping constantly, like you said you were going to.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Religiously. And you were watching it religiously too. So
I was.
Two religious watchers, so we were good. It was protected. So we watched, it arrived on Tuesday, which was supposed to arrive on Saturday. So a few days late, fine, right? Not that big of a deal. We had to let it air out. So, my wife went to bed, which is fine because I got home very late on Tuesday night and I busted it open and laid it out and, tried to, let it set. But before we could let it set on Tuesday, we decided let's build our bed frame because our bed frame came in, right? And we ordered a king size bed, but not to be built, for us to build it ourselves.
Okay.
Because it was $75 extra for them to build it. And I was like, girl, these hands work. Come on.
Yeah. And those things aren't hard to build.
Exactly. Just a few screws and not even the little Allen wrenches. And I was fine.
Okay.
So we built that and we were missing one of the slats.
I hate that.
And so they I checked their customer service was supposed to be open until 11 our time. It was 10:50, so I called. Right? They're like, your estimated wait time's 8 minutes. I'm like, hey, no problem. I'm in the time of when you close, estimated wait time. So I'm just sitting there piddling around on my phone, waiting for them to answer, listening to this great music that they play.
Hold music is the best.
At 11:05, it says something, basically we're closed, and hangs up on me. That was strike one, man. Strike one. I almost lost my mind on these people.
Did you?
Almost. Oh, I was so close. So then, and I was upset. So Samantha knew I was upset. She's like, I'll call them tomorrow morning, right? Trying to save them from me.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, let her call. So 9 o'clock, I'm over there. Wait, I'm like, hey, you gonna call? You gonna call?
Oh my
like,
goodness.
And so she calls, and the guy doesn't understand that we're missing one slat. He thinks we're missing everything that came in that box, which is 2 rails and 4 slats.
Okay.
And so he's like, we'll send you another one. It'll be there tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or tomorrow before 9 or whatever the time was. And, in my mind, I'm like, how does that help me right now?
Yeah.
Like, how does that benefit me? So we went on about our day. We just expected it to be delivered. And this number called me, and I thought it was work. So I answered it. It turns out it was another Living Spaces in Grand Prairie. And they were calling to check why I was returning the same product and repurchasing the same product. Like, they were like, that's weird in our system. So we wanted to know.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, here's the story. We just need a slat, right? And she's like, well, why didn't you just tell the guy that's what you needed? I said, we did. Just because he wrote down what he wrote down, we said we needed one slat. That's it. And I was like, honestly, because she's like, okay, we'll get it shipped out to you. I said, look, if you tell me where you're located, I'll come pick it up right now.
Yeah.
I will drive to wherever you are. And she was like, okay, I'm at Grand Prairie. Just come to this area and tell me you're looking for Crystal or whatever her name was. So Sam went and picked it up.
Oh, good.
And they took out a rail box like they should, cut it open, and it had 4 slats. And we brought the slat we should have and the slat we were given, which was an incorrect cut.
Oh.
And so we gave it to her, and she's like, yeah, that's weird.
So you weren't short one, they just gave you a wrong one.
Well, so it was the correct size and everything, but they had like pre-drilled holes of like where the screws should go, and there wasn't any in here. So you couldn't get through it. Does that make sense?
No.
So in the slat, right, there were like 4 pre-drilled holes that somebody else had already drilled that were perfectly measured where you needed to screw things in to make sure it fits the bed frame. Well, the one we were given didn't have pre-drilled holes.
Okay.
So it was just a blank slat. So I was like, we just need, it's wrong.
Did all the other slats have pre-drilled holes?
All the other ones had pre-drilled holes.
Okay.
Wrong. So she just gave us that slat and was like, here you go, like nothing big.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then another lady reached out to me and was like, hey, what's going on?
Oh boy. And
so I wrote to her and said, like, hey, here's what we were missing. It caused a lot of problems, for all these different reasons. I wasn't able to build the bed. We had to drive out to Grand Prairie, blah, blah, blah. And I said, and I'm going to be honest with you. I think her name was Kelly. I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to think twice before I shop at Living Spaces again.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not going to go like.
You could have drilled your own holes.
No.
You're so high maintenance. Oh my gosh, finish the story.
At Target Online, I will never shop at Target Online again because of that. Never. I will never buy anything from TargetOnline.com. That is the devil.
Oh my gosh.
So I told her, I will think twice about buying Living Spaces again. And so she gave me $75 off, which was very nice. Not what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for any kind of.
I think you were. I would have been a lot ruder if I wanted money. We are the Fannings here are the kings of gift cards, is what you call us. You, sir, are the king of getting extra money from these places. You get your complaints raised, and you get some $75 certificates.
I've gotten 2.
Yeah, 2. 2 more than
Target
I say to all the listeners.
And 1 from Living Spaces. So I build it, right? We get it built, and I put the bed on it, and we're letting it air up or whatever. And I'm going to skip forward a few days. Now it's, I think it was Thursday. Or Friday. Okay. I don't know the exact date. But we got our box spring in.
Okay.
And this wasn't like a box spring. This was like you had to build the box spring.
Really?
It was very strange. Like, it's what they call a smart box spring. So there's no actual springs in it. It's just you're building this.
And it's not wood, I'm assuming?
No, it's metal.
Oh, I like that though.
It's nice.
So the
So
wood would always break.
exactly. So I started building it, right? And I get to the last part, and Samantha comes home from wherever she was. Oh, work. And I get the cover out, and I'm like, hey, I need help getting the cover on.
Okay, of the metal frame.
Yeah, of the metal frame. Like it has all the metal slots, but we got to cover it, right? So we're trying to cover it, and it doesn't work. We rotate it, we try and cover it, it doesn't work. So now we're like, okay, so we start reading these reviews. And these reviews are like, it's so easy to get this cover on. Like, I did it by myself. You know, I'm an 89-year-old woman, and I'm like, we're two 20-something-year-old people, and we can't get this cover on. So we reached out to their support, right? And they're like, oh, we're sorry, we'll send you a new one.
Okay.
So they sent a new one.
And did you box up the other one and send it back?
Not yet. At this time, I was like, you know what? Maybe we didn't actually rotate the bed, but we thought we rotated the bed. So let's try and rotate the bed.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
And she's like, fine, we'll give it one last chance, and then we're waiting.
It worked.
Rotate the bed, zip straight up with no problem.
Oh my gosh!
So now we have another freaking bed cover coming.
Oh my gosh! So how do you just send it back? Will they send you a label?
I hope. I mean, I imagine.
Oh,
I'm gonna send it back, one of them back. And then so last night, Saturday night, is the first night we're gonna sleep in the bed.
Okay.
Right? King size bed, raised, super nice and high. Like I'm living in dream world. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're sitting there waiting to go to bed. You know, before we got to shower, because you got to get perfectly clean before getting into a new bed, because it's like the ultimate bed.
Oh yeah, new sheets. They better be cleaned.
Oh, obviously.
Okay.
First off, worst news of my life. I've been working so hard to keep Sloan out of this bed. Okay. Last night, we're about to take showers, right? To get ready to get into this bed. He jumps on the bed. He was the first person in that bed.
It's his house. It's his bed.
So anyhow, backtrack.
Sloan.
While we were prepping watching TV, not quite bedtime yet, we had let him out and let him in. So there was like a mosquito eater in the house.
Oh yeah.
What are they called?
I just call them the mosquito eaters.
Perfect. That'll do. So he was flying around the house, right? So, he landed on Samantha's blanket, so on her lap, and Sloan is laying on his bed, which is like 20 feet away.
Oh boy.
So Samantha just like slaps her leg, right? And kills it. And she's like, I got it. And so she grabs a tissue, puts it, wherever she puts it. And at this point, Sloan freaks out. Sloan acts like the world's coming to an end, and he's just like standing there now, frightened of us, shaking, like we've ever done anything wrong to him. So I pick him up and I put him on Samantha, right, to like pet him and like love him, and so I sit with her, so we like loving on him, and he's just shaking and shaking and shaking.
What
so
the
I'm like,
heck?
do you want to go outside? So I let him out back, and he's out back for like 30 minutes, and he usually like does his business and then comes back to the door and like waits for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He was out, didn't come to the door, didn't want anything to do with us. I went outside and I'm like, hey buddy, you want to come in? He didn't want to come in.
What?
And so, of course, as I'm outside trying to get him in, another one flies in the freaking house.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I have to do?
You don't have, they're fine if they're in your house. They're not, they don't hurt you.
So here I am, swinging at the wall, bang, bang. Finally get him, wipe him off the wall. Sloan's terrified. So I put him in the office because that's where he wants to be, right? So I put him in the office under his little blanket that he has, whatever. And so it's bedtime. So he's in the bed. We shower. We both get ready. We're going to bed. So I lay in bed. I'm the first one to lay in bed, right?
Second.
It was first person to lay in bed. Second.
Sloan's a person, so still second person. My statement stands.
So I'm laying in bed, and this thing is so comfy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Sloan thinks I'm scared. I'm going to cuddle with Dad. Literally comes and like sits on my chest.
You got this big bed so you could all three spread out, and he's like, nope, I'm gonna sleep right here, Dad.
And he slept there all night, bro.
Really?
It was the worst night's sleep I've had in a long time. He just slept right on my chest and did not move.
If you tried to move him, what would he have done? Come right back?
He was pushing up against me all night.
Really?
If I moved, he'd just push up against me like, oh, I'm missing you.
Good. How was the sleep for Samantha?
She said it was great.
Lucky one.
You're telling me.
Oh my gosh.
So she wonders why I nap in the middle of the day. Well, here we go.
Oh, yeah. Did you nap in bed?
No, we didn't nap today.
Oh, wow.
Because basically, I mean, we got out of church at probably 12:15-ish,
Mhm.
12:30-ish. And then we tried to go to Olive Garden.
Of all places, Olive Garden.
She wanted bread sticks. So we were going. So we went there, and the way they spoke to like the person in front of us asking for a table, it kind of turned Samantha off. Like she was like, that was super rude. So we just left.
Okay.
We were like, no, thank you. And then we ended up going like furniture shopping at a few places.
Okay.
We were over in an area we're not usually in.
Okay, gotcha.
And so then, of course, we ended up going to buy our entertainment center, but we drove my car to church. Entertainment center doesn't fit in my car.
No, you got a small car.
So we bought it. I drove to get the Jeep while Samantha waited at the store, drove back. It was a mess. It was a mess. And then we get back at probably 2:45.
Uh-huh.
We eat our McDonald's for lunch.
Oh, Mickey D's. What'd you get?
I got 2 hot and spices, no mayo, large fry, 4-piece chicken nugget.
Oh, that's a lot of chicken. That's like an excessive amount of chicken.
I don't like their burgers.
Oh my gosh, they have amazing burgers, but that's like an insane amount of chicken.
It was great. It was great. And so then we got home at like 2:45, right? 8, took the dog on a WAOK, and then we had to leave.
Dang, so it was
Go
just
to our concert.
a busy day.
Yeah, we left to go to our concert, which was a free church concert, right? So I was like,
That's
hey,
cool.
let's go.
Yeah.
And so we went, and we got there at probably about 4. We left at 3:30, got there at 4.
Mhm.
And then we were there until 8.
Dang,
So we were out pretty much all day long.
dang, that sounds like a blast.
So that was rough. So that was that was only the bed debacle, bro. I got more coming.
Now the bed, have you gotten the other bed set up in the rest of your house?
So we did set up the guest bed
Okay.
in your room / the guest room.
My room, yes.
And we've had that set up for a long time
Okay.
because that's where we slept when we were waiting for our bed to air out.
Oh, okay. So you set it up fully. You didn't just like.
We set it up fully, and so it's really ready to go, right? So funny you bring that up. We're sleeping in that room, right? And we're just chilling, just straight chilling. I got my mouth guard in. I am dead asleep.
The mouth guard yet again.
Dead asleep. And all of a sudden, 2:00 in the morning, the fire alarm above me goes off.
Like just one beep or like just nonstop?
So it goes off like there's a fire, but then it stops. So it's not like the beep of like, oh, I'm low on battery.
Okay.
It's like the beep, like if there was a fire happening, that's the beep. That's the long, drawn out beep you would hear.
Really?
Yes. And so the one goes off in the guest bedroom we're in, and for some reason that triggers all of them in the house to go off. 2:00 in the morning, right? So I'm startled awake.
Did Samantha wake?
Of course.
Did Sloan wake?
Oh, he's terrified at this point.
Okay.
First off, there's 2 things he's terrified: swinging at anything flying, and fire alarms.
He just sounds like a very frightened dog.
I tell you what.
You ever seen Benchwarmers?
Yeah.
He's like David Spade's brother that just sits in the closet. That's what, huh?
And eat sunscreen.
Yeah, that's who I think Sloan is.
Howie's his name. Howie.
Sloan is the new Howie.
You're not wrong. So I'm up, right? And of course, I'm thinking it's a robber.
For your
Why?
fire alarm.
We have a regular alarm system, so who knows? I'm not one to judge. Yes.
I did not know you had a regular alarm system.
So I'm up, right? And I gotta clear the house first. So I'm going room to room, clearing the house. Before the wife leaves the room, making sure she's protected, gotta clear the house.
Wouldn't they be different alarms though? Different sounds?
Never heard the other one, so not sure.
Oh my gosh.
So house is clear, fire alarm's going, and it only goes off once every like 5 minutes. So it's not like it's a constant beep. It's like beep, and then it's done. And then like 5 minutes later.
5 minutes.
Yeah, same thing every 5 minutes. And so I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna pull the battery off that son of a gun, and it's done.
Now, do all of them go off simultaneously every 5 minutes?
No, like one. So like the one in the guest bedroom goes off, and then it triggers the other 3 or 4 to go off at the same time.
Okay, so he goes off, and then the other 4 go off.
Correct.
Okay, so if you unplug that one, it basically none of the other ones are going to start going off then.
Correct. So that's what I did. I took the battery out, unplugged it, took it off the system, set it, I think in the garage or in the living room or whatever. I'm like, all right, time to go back to bed. Right, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm ready. Get Sloan back on the bed. Put my mouth guard back in. I'm ready. Lay back down. No more than 4 minutes later, another one goes off.
This is just like that Friends episode with Phoebe and the fire alarm.
So what I did, I got so upset. I literally went around and took every single one down.
Every one of them?
Every single one. And right now, we have no fire alarms in our house. They're still being punished.
So just don't cook. You Samantha can cook. You do not touch anything that could cause a flame.
We have new ones. We went out and bought 4 new ones to like replace all of them. But wow.
What do you do if the new ones are just the same?
It's going to be a wiring issue, so we're going to have to call someone for wiring.
Yeah.
But like, wow. Because
yeah,
we've lived here for not even 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already changed the batteries on these things probably like 6 times because they beep all the freaking time, and I change them thinking it's the batteries.
So it's probably just the actual detector itself.
It's going to be the detector. So when you Google it, right, the detectors are only supposed to last like 8 years. But ours is only 5 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe we just got a bad one, which I'm fine with. Let me buy my new ones, put them up, and no more beeping.
When are you going to put those new ones up?
Whenever I feel they've been punished enough.
Well, the new ones wouldn't be part of that punishment. If anything,
the old ones are still being punished.
Yeah, the old ones, but the new ones, like, they did nothing wrong.
That's what you think.
I would put different batteries in them too. I don't want to use any of the same batteries either.
9 volts are expensive, bro. You think I'm rich?
They are, but I mean, if you have a home alarm system, you're pretty rich.
Dang, came with the house.
So I would put new 9 volts in. Originally, I was thinking they're like AA, so I was like, dude, just buy a pack. But 9 volts are expensive. I would do new everything.
So we are. I'm probably gonna try and put them up this week sometime.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a little clip-on, right? Or do you have to change out the base too?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I actually don't know.
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out together.
Oh boy.
I'll report back next week on how the fire alarms went.
I look forward to hearing this story.
So I have one more, and then I'm gonna.
The site I want to see.
So then on Monday, I think it was Monday, I'm walking the dog, right? Around the neighborhood, just a normal walk. The mailman is on the other side of the road that I'm on. Okay. And he flips around, not in his normal route, just flips around to talk to me. He says, "Hey, are you an official?" I'm thinking he's like, state official, and I'm like, no. And then I'm like, oh, but I am a referee. Some people call those officials.
Oh boy.
I was like, yes, I am. And he's like, oh, what do you officiate? Because I saw in your mail, you got a check from Arlington Independent School District. I'm like, so you're my mailman, legitimately checking my mail.
Yeah.
No, you should be looking at that stuff.
What do you mean?
He should not be looking where I'm getting mail from and who, because he's like, you're Denise, you live at that house, right?
Yeah.
That means when my stimmy comes, he's taking it.
Why would he take it? He can't use it. And you're the psychopath who gets your stimmy mailed to you.
Yeah, the government doesn't need my routing number.
They have everything else from you, though. You give them everything else, let alone your. Oh my gosh.
They don't need my routing number.
You have direct deposit?
Yeah.
They have your freaking routing number, dude.
No, we don't send it to anyone. We sign a third-party provider where we don't send it to anyone.
Austin, you have so much to learn. But yeah, your mailman's gonna look at your mail.
That's weird.
What's that weird? He's got to see and make sure the address is correct, your name. So of course his eyes are gonna wander a little bit.
You look at the top piece. You don't look through all the mail, brother.
What do you mean all the mail?
There were like 3 other pieces of mail. You had to look through to find that there was a check.
All of them.
Why? Somebody else sorts it.
Not
He's
fully.
not a sorter.
But he's supposed to make sure they're all going to the right place.
You don't. I mean, have you ever seen them mail? At least this is what my guy has. He has like a whole slat that's probably like 4 foot long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with little like dividers with your house number on it.
Yeah,
And
but
flicks a
you ever
divider.
got the wrong mail before?
Do what?
You ever got the wrong mail before?
I mean, I get mail from random people all the time, but never like a wrong address. It's always our address.
Yeah, I've gotten wrong addresses numerous of times.
I don't get wrong addresses.
Yeah, because your guy's sorting it correctly. Your guy's A+. He deserves a Christmas gift.
He's not the sorter.
Yeah, because he's fixing the sorter's problems. That's what I'm saying. He's doing the second round of sorting, so he's making sure nobody's getting the wrong mail.
You don't even know this dude.
Making sure the weirdos like you who get your stimulus checks mailed to you are going to your address and not your neighbors.
Yeah, my little stimmy's coming.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. You're so weird. You're like 95 years old.
Yeah, I'm
Take off your tinfoil hat and just get a direct deposit.
I'm almost 30, but I'm in the body of like a 60-year-old.
I know 60-year-olds who are getting their stimulus checks direct deposit.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I know so.
We should bring Gramps on the podcast and ask him.
Well, he's 83, so he's around the number I first told you about. Different story, buddy. Different story.
So then here we go. It's a good one. This right here, if people listen to nothing else in this podcast, they need to listen to this story. This is the craziest story. And I don't even think I've actually prefaced and told you it. I think I honestly held off on it.
Okay.
But I called and told Samantha, and then I told my parents, so they know the story. But so Tuesday I was reffing.
Oh, okay.
And so
you teased. If it's a soccer fight, you teased it on our Thursday movie podcast.
Then yes, I did.
So we've all been waiting for this.
That's where we're at. So I looked at my little notification of where I was reffing, and it said whatever Warrior Bowl or whatever. And so I was like, okay. So I Googled it, and I was like, oh, I've been here before. So drove to that location, showed up. There's no one there. No teams, no refs, no parents, nobody.
How early were you?
45 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm like, that's kind of strange, right? Generally, like the home coach is there or something.
Yeah, so at least, yeah, something.
So I walked down there, and the wrestling coach is like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm here to ref. They're like, I don't think we have a game here today. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure we do. You know, it's between these two teams. And they're like, okay. And they walked off. And so I'm walking the field. There's probably 15 minutes to game time at this point. And I'm like, there's still nobody here. And she comes running down this ramp, and she's like, you're at the wrong school. It's at Grand Prairie South, not Grand Prairie.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay. So she's like, you can still make it on time. It's like a 10-minute drive. So I hop in the car. Here I am, skirting out of the stadium, right? And I show up, and this whole time, there's been a name on my who I'm reffing with that I'm like, I know this name, and I don't know why. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I've had to have reffed with him in the past or something. I get there, I look at his face, I realize it's the president of the whole chapter.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, son of a motherless goat.
Of all games, you go to the wrong stadium, it's his game.
I've never been like I've always been like 45 minutes early to every game.
How
and
early
now all of a sudden,
this game?
6 minutes.
Ooh, that's rough.
So I was like, son of a biscuit. So we get dressed, we go out there, and I'm doing the JV game. And so we ref it at halftime. I'm like, anything? He's like, no, you're good. And both of them are like, no, you're good. So finish the game out. I don't even remember the score of the game. It's not important. So then now he's centering the varsity game.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So I'm like, this is going to be good. He's got the little spray, you know, like the professional refs have where you like spray where the ball is for the free kicks.
Whoa.
He was ready.
This dude is like, he's the guy who goes and plays catch with his buddies and has the NFL gloves.
Yes.
The wide receiver gloves. That's who this guy is.
Yes, he does. Great guy. So as we were kind of talking, right, it was senior night for one of these schools, for the home school. It was senior night. And it was their last game of the season. And neither of these teams could make playoffs. No matter what happened across the league, they were both already out of playoffs. Good information to know. So we're like, this is going to be pretty easy. You know, let's knock it out.
Just the game. It's their last game.
Exactly. They're just whatever. So we start playing, and the home team scores once early in the half and then once in the last 5 minutes.
Okay.
In the last 5 minutes, this kid like backheeled it super awkwardly and just happened to score. Like, kudos to you, bud. And in that time, we had probably given, let's call it 2 yellow cards to the home team.
Wow.
So 2 yellow cards. One was for an egregious foul, and I don't remember what the other one was for, but we were, keeping the game in check. And so we go into the second half, and the home team is clearly a lot better than the away team. Like, they have more talent, but they don't work as hard as the away team. The away team will work their tails off for you.
Okay.
So we start the second half, and the head coach comes over from the away team, and he's like, hey, can you make sure the ball boys are still working very hard to get the balls for us? Just because we're losing doesn't mean we want to waste time.
Yeah.
Right? We were like, yeah, we told the home coach, so everybody was on the same page. So we're playing, probably give another yellow card out for a foul somewhere along the lines. And then we get in, and I think there's like 5 minutes and some odd seconds left.
Okay.
5 minutes and 40-something seconds left. And the away team ends up tying the game. So it's 2-2 now. 2-2. So you were winning 2-0, now it's 2-2 with 5 minutes and 40-something seconds left.
Boy.
So we're like, all right, like this 5 minutes is going to be hectic, right? Because
Mhm.
they think they're going to win. It's senior night. They're going to play their hearts out, whatever. So we're going, and there is like 30, maybe like 40-something seconds on the clock. So like 42, 43 seconds left on the clock. And it's a corner to the away team.
Okay.
All right? The away team takes the corner. The defending team heads the ball out. So the home team heads it out way out there. There's 2 players chasing it down. One from the home team and one from the away team.
Okay.
All right. And you just know that the away team, the team that only has 1 player back in the goalkeeper, is going to foul this home player.
Right.
He's fast. His whole team's in the box. Like, everything about his body is just saying this is going to be a foul.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so he comes into him, and he, like, you can tell he like leans into him pretty hard, like he's going to take him down. But the other kid grabs his arm, rolls over, and like throws him to the ground and lands on his shoulder into that guy.
Holy crap.
And so those 2 players stand up and start swinging at each other.
Just swinging.
Just swinging. So the home bench, which is the one I'm by, starts to run onto the field.
Oh boy.
And I'm running to where the fight's happening, shouting like, if you get on the field, it's an automatic red. Don't be an idiot. Like, don't do it. It's dumb. And I'm running to where the freaking fight is. And so I get there, and I turn to watch the fight. I'm probably like 5 yards back from the fight. And me and Todd is his name, the center, the president. We are standing probably 5 yards away from the fight, just watching people fight. So we're watching 2 kids swing at each other. We're watching a coach push a player to the ground.
His own player or another player?
Another player.
Right.
We're watching the coaches go face to face and like spitting in each other's face while talking. Like, we are just standing there taking it all in.
Was this on video?
It's probably on video. I mean, the home team recorded the game, so
Find it. I gotta see. That's insane.
So and while this is all happening, the security guard who's over there by the home parents, the 2 of them are coming sprinting across the field as fast as they can. All right. And so they're like starting to get them separated, but the 2 coaches are going back at it. The assistant coach for the away team and the head coach for the home team.
Oh, wow.
And so the cops, the police officers, the security guards pull out their tasers, and they're like ready. Honest to God, they are ready, Christopher. They're like, guys, if y'all don't calm down, I'm like, you're gonna tase these freaking kids. Like, they're like, if you guys don't calm down, and they're just holding them, right, like ready to go.
JV or varsity?
Varsity.
Holy crap! It doesn't matter. That's insane. They're whipping out their tasers.
They're here, like guns down, so they're not pointing at anyone, right? They're taser down, but they're like, like ready to go. And so everybody's trying to separate each other. So Todd and I then talk, and we're like, okay, here's what I saw. Here's what I saw. And so we're like, okay, a red card needs to go to this player, and this player. I think we ended up giving 4 red cards, 2 to one team, 1 to another player, and then 1 to the assistant coach.
Dang.
Right, so that's kind of where we gave the red cards to. And so with 32 seconds left, because that's what was left on the clock when all this happened, we now have to finish this game 9-10 because of the red cards.
Holy crud.
So we we talked to both coaches real quick, and we're like, if the game ends in a tie because it's 2-2, do we do penalties? Do we go into overtime, or does the game end as a tie? And they're like, penalties. And we're like, well, dang it.
Y'all should have asked. You should have just told them, hey, it's a tie at this point.
I know, we should have.
You guys
really
embarrassed yourselves by doing all this. We're gonna call it a tie.
And so, we start the game, right? 32 seconds. There's probably some hard fouls in there because they're all heated at each other.
Oh yeah.
But it was funny. Before we restarted the game, Todd went over to both benches. He said, "You sit down. If I see any of you stand up, I'm red carding you out of the game. Period. I don't care."
Holy
And he's the president, so like I'm not gonna tell him like anything.
Yeah,
You sit down. You do not stand up. And he's like talking to them like they're like 4 years old.
Dang. What he should have said is like, if you're not a senior and you stand up, you're out next year.
Right. Well, I don't know if he could have done that since he's just over reffing.
Well, I mean, he could threaten it and then scare them, and then at the end of the game, they're like, "Oh, by the way, you can't do that." Like, yeah, I know I can't.
True.
But you listened.
That's very true.
Because in the moment, they're not going to know.
Correct. They're just
They'll
terrified.
argue it later on, but he doesn't care about that.
They're just terrified at that point. So we finish those 32 seconds, and so we get the captains together, and one of the captains for the home team, tied 2-2.
Okay.
The home team captain walks over, and it took everything in me not to laugh. Okay?
Why?
Just because of his delivery. He literally walks over, and he goes, "Kids." Like, bro, you're one of them.
Was he in on it?
No, he was not in the fight at all. He was literally standing next to the parents talking.
Oh, then yeah, good for him. Good for him. You should have laughed at the joke. Like, heck yeah, brother.
On the other side of the field, like he had no care in the world. He was not defending his team. He was like, "Y'all suck it." Like,
yeah, he's like, I'm not about to break down doing this.
Exactly. So we flip the coin first to decide what side we're going to do the penalties on.
Okay.
So flips the coin, lands on my side. So I'm like, well, dang it. Flip the coin the second time. Grand Prairie wins. They're like, we want to kick second. No problem. Yeah. So Todd calls me and the other ref together, and he's like, write down every number who's kicking, what order, blah, blah, blah. So I turn my paper over because I got all this notes on one side, like red card to this guy, red card to this guy, yellow card here, like trying to keep notes of everything.
Gosh.
And so I'm like, okay. So we're getting up there, right? And I'm making the keeper stand outside the 18 and, doing all this stuff. And so I'm there writing and letting him know what's happening. So first kicker comes up. They make it all the way to 4. So we get to 4. Everybody's made their goal.
Dang.
Just to say. Number 6 already has a yellow card, and he's already taken a shot in the penalty area. Okay, so he's already made his penalty, but he'll become relevant here in a minute. Okay, but he has a yellow card just from the normal part of the game.
Okay.
So the away team, Arlington Lamar, comes up to take their 5th kick. And I'm there waiting. 5th kick, keeper palms it into the crossbar, bounces out. Okay. 2 players from Grand Prairie think they've just won the World Cup. Come sprinting from the middle, from the halfway line, to the kid who just kicked the ball and literally put middle fingers up in his face and say, F you, you suck, to this kid.
No, they don't.
Honest to God.
Oh, my God.
And so here's Todd now, blowing the whistle, getting them back over here. And the head coach is like, we're going to pull them off. We're going to pull them off. Todd's like, not today. Boom. Cards, both of them. Gone. What? You haven't even won the game, bro.
There's still one more kick.
Yeah.
At least.
I'm like, and so cards, both them. So there's 2 more gone. Then this kicker comes up, and it's number 10. It's the guy who said kids. The captain.
I kind of hope he makes it.
So he gets up there and, places the ball. And I don't know what it's called. I can't think of what it's called. I literally should have looked this up before. But it's when you, pretend you're going to kick the ball really hard and you just chip it up. So
yeah.
And so he did that and scored and made the keeper look dumb. And so then he runs over to the parent side, and their whole, the Grand Prairie team's chasing him, right? Oh, you won, right? Blah, blah, blah. Well, so Todd's like, let's go. And he's like, come here. So I start jogging over to him, right? And going. And the Lamar team's now walking at the Grand Prairie team, let's fight.
You better get out of there, Austin.
They're trying to get it going again. Y'all, whatever. And so Todd literally says, do not look back. keep walking forward. You don't hear anything. And that's all he's repeating the whole time. Do not look back. You don't hear anything.
He's like, our job's done. We're off the clock.
He's like, we're going to the locker room, to the locker room. Like, he's telling us like he's our coach. Get to the locker room. Like, get in there. Do not look back. And so I didn't look back. And so we just kept going. I don't know how it ended. I don't know if there was another fight. I have no earthly idea if anyone got tased. I have no clue.
When the fight was happening, how were the parents? Were they losing their minds? Or,
I mean,
or was it like almost like it's normal?
I'm going to be honest with you. The amount of adrenaline that was running through me, I didn't pay attention to the parents.
That's fair. That's fair.
I was too busy focused on who was swinging at who and making sure I wasn't getting hit.
So no fights happened in the parents because you were
no,
okay.
No, not that we had anything to do with.
Okay.
But the cops literally stood on the player sideline the rest of the time. They put their tasers away eventually, but they stood there.
Eventually, like 45 minutes later.
They're like, fine, I guess. But it was literally the craziest freaking soccer night fight thing I've ever had.
That's insane.
I've never seen like and one of the dudes legitimately had a black eye seconds after he got hit.
I've always like heard about them, but I've never seen one in person.
It was crazy. And it's like I didn't want to go to bed that night either.
You were just like so just adrenaline up.
I had adrenaline just going constantly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was just like, do I like get these hands up because we need to start swinging, son.
You were ready to throw some fists.
I would have. You gotta let them know, son. Let them know.
You would have run. If they came toward you, you'd be running.
You dang right. I can't fight to save my life. So let me real quick, because this is a story that pans back to you since I've had the first 40 minutes to myself, and I'm not even done with stories. Just so we're clear, this was a great week. A great week for Austin. So I heard this story, and I'm interested to hear your take. Tell me about backyard soccer. And I don't mean like playing soccer in your backyard, Christopher. I mean like PC, Pablo Sanchez, Pete Wheeler. Like, tell me about backyard soccer.
Yeah, the girls and I used to play it all the time.
Okay, so all three of you used to play?
Yeah.
Or you used to play?
I'd play and they watched.
So tell me how you, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get a text message from your wife tomorrow and say I shouldn't have inflated your head. But the way that you got to play the game and got them to watch is absolutely brilliant. So I need you to talk about it. Because at whatever age you were an absolute mastermind. Like, I mean, I understand I'm hyping you up here, but you were legitimately, when I heard this today, you were so intelligent.
So you're like you had a sister. So when you grew up, you play like a thing like called house. So it's like where it's like imaginary. You're like we used to play like we were like business people and all that kind of stuff. Well, we had to share a computer as kids. Like up in the living room, we had to share, and I had backyard soccer. So I convinced the girls that I would be the coach, and their kids in house would be virtual characters, and they'd go to the game and watch and like cheer on their kids while I played.
So you had these girls with dolls surrounding the computer, cheer these kids as you're playing.
And I'm like, after a game, like, I'm gonna get your kid more touches next week.
Oh my gosh! You're like, I'm sorry I had to sub her out. She just wasn't performing.
Yes.
Oh my, that is legitimately the greatest thing I think I've ever heard.
We did it with backyard football too.
Sam said something about Brett Favre being her son or something, and I was like, what in the world?
No, she had Steve Young was her son.
Okay. That is honestly the greatest thing that I had to let everybody know, because that is so intelligent.
I forgot all about that, man. Yes.
Literally so intelligent that you made this house game into another game so you could play.
We'd sit there for hours and just play. It was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Wow. That is honestly too funny.
How did that story come about?
We were talking, I don't know what the conversation was about. It got off on somehow we were talking about, like, she was like, I used to do this. I think it started with Lizzie McGuire.
Okay.
And like how the girls were not allowed to watch Lizzie McGuire.
Yes.
But like did secretly or didn't and got in trouble and
Yeah.
whatever. And then I was like, oh, I don't resonate with that. I played outside when I was a child. And so then we started like talking about what we did as children
Yeah.
and like how I guess in Richard's room there used to be a computer and like it was like the office and his bedroom kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like that's where y'all would like play and like played on Coca-Cola and made out with people in a corner and whatever y'all did. Look, that's between you and the three of y'all. But y'all, we were just talking about like what we did as children. Chris is literally dying.
The Coca-Cola thing was almost like Club Penguin, but it was like us and like these like just I'm assuming like teenagers, and then they like say something and we acted like we were like teenagers. It was awesome. Like we got this person's number one time. We never used it, but they're like, "You want our number?" I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, we're like the cool guy in school.
The three of y'all just huddled around the computer like, yeah, say this.
Yes, we did. We like discussed. It would be like we'd discuss, and then it was like unanimous on what we would say.
Oh, gracious!
And guess who controlled the mouse of that game too?
I'm sure.
This guy.
I'm sure. So you let him over to the corner to go make out.
No, that was the girls' decision. I just followed what they said.
Of course. But yeah, we were talking about something like that, and just what happened, and I think we talked a little bit about like in our future world, right? When we are to have kids or anything, like would we allow laptops or computers or those type of things? So
yeah,
we just get off on random tangents,
right?
Basically, is what I'm telling you.
So funny. I have not thought about backyard soccer in so long.
But that was hilarious when she was like, yeah, he used to tell us that he was the coach and we used to bring our dolls and, we used to just tell him like, oh, you're doing so good. I'm like, oh my gosh. He is brilliant because all he got to do is sit there and play the game that he wanted to play anyhow.
I'd have to be like, oh, in 30 minutes your sisters get on. Like, no, they're playing, Mom.
Yeah, they're happy. And I'm sure the girls thought they were having so much fun. They were like, this is the best. Chris is awesome for letting us do this. Looking back, they're like, that was stupid.
I wasted days of my life.
I could see them like huddled around, like jumping up and down, like, go score, yeah.
Oh man, that brings back so many memories. That was fun.
The good times.
Yeah.
So
I saw that on the Google Doc. I was like, backyard soccer, like he's gonna tell me about some crazy story of when he played backyard soccer, like outside, like in a real backyard.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was literally we were driving to church this morning and we were talking about it. And I was like, I need you to put that on the Google Docs. I gave it to her because I was like, I cannot forget that I need to tell this and bring it to everyone's attention.
Never in a million years would I realize that's what we were going to refer to.
That's why I write these checklists the way I do, so you'll never guess.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That is so funny.
That was literally hilarious just to hear. So kudos to you, Alex. I'm sorry I've inflated his head for the next week. But it was a great plan. It was great. It was tremendous. Man. So I did do a first today though.
Okay.
First of all time. I went to a true department store, right? A name brand department store across the United States, and I haggled them because it's not illegal.
Okay. So I kind of know because I'm not going to argue it. But what exactly is haggling to you in your mind? What is it, and what did you do?
Haggling is I got a lower price than what is posted.
Okay.
So we went about a week ago. We went and saw this piece of furniture last weekend. We saw this piece of furniture, and Samantha fell in love with it. She's like, "I want it. That's the entertainment center I want."
Okay.
And like literally, it's broken. The bottom like shelf of it is broken. Like it doesn't sit. So I was like, we're not going to buy it. We can call around to other, stores. We can go look at other stores to try and find it. But like, we're not buying this specific one.
Right.
And so she's like, okay, so we got home, called, nobody had it. So I said, call the store that we found it at. Tell them we'll give them $100 for it.
Okay.
Broken, right? But we'll still give you $100.
Now, the first time you went, did the sign say like damage this price? Was it already broke? Like, did they know it was broken?
So it was marked down, but this store, that's not unheard of.
Yeah, it's like because it was. Where'd you get it?
We got it at Home Goods.
Okay, yeah.
It's
Okay.
not unheard of for things to be marked down, even if they're not broken.
Yeah, right.
So it was marked down. I don't know why. It didn't say it was broken on it. It doesn't say anything along those lines.
Okay.
So I call and I'm like, hey, we were looking for this piece. They're like, oh, we sold it. So I'm like, okay, thank you. Hung up. All right. It wasn't meant to be ours. It was sold.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're cruising around today, looking for a place to eat, we're literally in the same parking lot of it. So I'm like, do you want to go? She said, yes. So I said, okay. So we pulled over. We went over there, and we're walking through the furniture section. Sure as day, there it is, sitting right there. Still there. Broken and all. And so I'm like, she's like, what are we going to do? I said, well, I asked somebody if I could offer them $100 for it, so I'm going to do it. So I found some lady, and I was like, hey, can I ask you a question? I said, there's a piece over here. It's broken. I'll give you $100 for it.
Mm-hmm.
She said, let me call Deborah.
The manager, I'm sure.
I don't know. You call Deborah. Deborah, can you come to furniture? So Deborah comes over to furniture. And this piece is originally $300.
Okay.
Right. Solid wood. Solid wood.
On their markdown price already.
$225.
Okay.
It's 25% off, whatever that comes down to. And so I'm like, hey, Deborah, piece is broken. I'll give you $100 for it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, no, we can't do $100. That's too low.
For a broken piece, Deborah? For a broken piece?
Deborah, it's broken. Like, look at it. So she looks at it. She's like, we can't do $100. I said, fine. I'll do 150. That's 50% off. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You have it marked down at 25% off. I want 50.
Right.
It's broken. Give you $150 right here, cash today. Not cash. I didn't have cash.
I was going to say, you didn't give her cash.
Be very clear. And she said, sold. Lowest I can go is to 150. I said, all right, take it up front.
Dang.
Boom.
Look at you, man. Look at you.
150 right there.
Now everywhere you go, you're going to be like, that Big Mac's $3? No. $1.50.
$1.50.
Take it or leave it.
Yep. It's not illegal.
Did you Google that before you did it?
No, I knew it. No, I didn't Google it. I've known it's not illegal to haggle prices.
Okay.
But most companies will not haggle with you.
No, yeah, right. But I didn't realize like it would even be a question of like, oh, is this illegal to try and haggle?
Yeah, I mean, I probably Googled it at some point. That's why I know that random piece of information.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I would never walk into Target, pick up a pop head, and be like, hey, you have it marked for $8. I'll give you $4.
You should try it.
I'm paying. Like the cashiers aren't going to know what to do.
No, nobody's going to say it. I mean, even the manager's going to be like, no. Like a Home Goods is different because it's like onesie, twosie things of furniture. They're trying to get inventory out.
Correct.
They're always getting inventory, and especially the broken stuff.
Exactly. I was like, it's broken. Like, just give it to me. So we got it home. Needless to say, I had to go get the Jeep. We got it home.
Mm-hmm.
I put some screws in it. Sturdy as ever.
Are you going to put in like wood filler or whatever?
No.
No, just leave it like that.
Well, the screws are in it. It's held super sturdy. As long as you're not throwing 30-pound weights on it, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what we're going to have down there is like either the sound bar.
Yeah,
and
like
the PS4 or just like DVDs. And that's not going to weigh enough to break these things.
No.
So I'm not worried about it at all.
No, yeah, for sure.
It's going to be.
You got a nice piece of furniture, though.
Yeah, it's solid wood, man. Solid. So I'm super happy with it.
You didn't have to build anything.
And it's going to fit in our little alcove thing that is super hard to like get things to fit in.
It'll for sure fit?
Oh, yeah. It's 46 inches and that's 53. So we have.
So it'll fit in there nice. Okay.
Yeah, we have a little bit extra on the sides, which I'm like, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, because that way, that'll be nice.
So I'm hoping to get it, installed. When I mean installed, I mean the other part moved out, TV mounted, everything in.
And just push it into the cove.
Within the week.
That'd be nice.
Well, I'm going to have to drill a couple more holes too.
Where?
So there's 2 glass cabinets on the side, like little small, probably 12 by 12 glass cabinets. And I'm going to drill a hole, like a nice, I don't know, inch circumference hole
Mm-hmm.
so I can feed cords through.
Okay.
Because our router and Wi-Fi thing is going to go in one.
Yeah.
Just to hide it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no reason to not
Right.
hide it, and then I just have to drill a hole, to chunk through it.
Are you gonna go buy a drill bit that's like the hole that goes?
I have some.
Okay. I'm just gonna make sure you're not gonna like try and get like some saw and make some ugly little circle.
No, I have some.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, that'll work out nice. I'm excited to see it when it's done. Maybe get a little Instagram post on it.
Hey, you never know. I'll make sure I put some pop heads in there.
You need to. You need to put like your top like 6 across the top of it.
I should. But then I got to pick 6 that are my favorites, and you telling me I'm leaving the other 99 out?
Well, I mean, you're not leaving them out. You're leaving them in their place. You're just gonna get this, or you rotate them.
Little rotation station. I like that.
Yeah, like once a week, you change out. You do five a week. That way, they all get their glory, and then go right back. So I think you do it.
A little bit of time to shine up there on the old entertainment stand.
Yeah, I think that'd look pretty sick. Or like when you're watching Money Heist, you put all the Money Heist ones there.
Ooh.
And they're there until you're done with Money Heist.
But what if I don't have any for the show, like Sneaky Pete that I have finished?
Well, you're finished with Sneaky Pete, so done. Next.
Shameless.
Don't watch it. Check. Next. See, I got it all figured out for you, man. If you have any questions, I got your back.
Got it. Good copy. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I know what. I think I'm going to start Shameless next.
Dude, start WandaVision.
No, Shameless is what I'm not. WandaVision is one I can start within the middle of another show.
Yeah, or just watch WandaVision for like 4 days and then start your little Shameless show.
4 days. You said it's 30-minute episodes and there's 8 of them.
Because you like to take your time on some stuff sometimes, so I'm giving you a nice span of time. It took you, what, 6 years to watch Sneaky Pete?
Okay, that was very long. Okay, I get that one. No, if I start WandaVision tomorrow, I would finish it tomorrow.
And because I started Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Friday.
I know, but it's coming out in 1 episode increments.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
I hate 1 episode increments.
It's fun doing it.
Because I mean, even like watching TV shows now, you're like, what happened in the last episode?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why I don't. But like for some reason, these, because they're like movie production, I don't know. Like I'm enjoying the waiting a week for these. I think because it's like I wouldn't mind, like, because these are 6 episodes a season and then it's done forever.
Yeah, which is sad.
Whereas like I think I like that because like then I can go and binge it later on.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be waiting a year for the next season. That's where I hate it. It's like the waiting a year for a season.
Hour or half-hour shows?
These are an hour.
Hour.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier are like 45 to 50 minutes.
Okay, that's not too bad.
WandaVision were like 20, 30, and then the last 2 were like 45 to an hour.
That's not terrible.
No.
Not bad at all. Yeah, it's the waiting is the worst part because, like, I mean, we've been waiting on Money Heist for 18 months.
Yep.
I've been waiting on Outer Banks 2 for a long time.
Yeah.
High School Musical, the series, been waiting on that forever.
Yeah, I don't know if that one's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, it has a premiere date.
But I mean, it's not gonna be the same thing. Joshua's not gonna be in it.
It's already produced. It has a premiere date.
You can have a premiere date, but that doesn't mean it's already been done.
Yeah, they're done with at least the first couple. He's gonna be in it because, and this is the same thing. I'll tell you the same thing I think it is. Disney is bigger than Joshua Bassett. Disney's contract don't let him out of a contract because him and his girlfriend broke up and they hate each other.
He can do whatever he wants, though.
Not if it's in the contract.
Yeah, I mean, he may not have a Disney career ever again, but he doesn't care.
Well, if it's in contract that says you have to produce this, because Disney's not going to write a contract that benefits the actor. They're going to write a contract that benefits them.
Yeah, but I mean, let's see. I heard he wasn't going to be on the show.
Isn't he in the, like, poster releases of it too?
For the new season? I haven't seen anything apparently, because I didn't realize they had a date.
Yeah, it's like May
14th.
Yeah.
Will he be in it? I don't know.
I'm sure he's going to be in it.
It's going to be weird. They're going to be freaking all broken up.
I'm not saying it's not going to be weird or a little different or not as good as the first one, but there will be a second season and they will both be in it. Now, I think personally, they've changed the script a little bit, and now Olivia Rodrigo will go off to that like voice school, and she will make like random appearance returns as opposed to being in the whole season. I think that's a change they will make because they ended the storyline that way. That they can play off into that without too much of a mess.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm excited then. May 14th. Okay, mark my calendar.
Yeah, I can't believe you hadn't heard that. You're like the movie guy and the TV show.
I know. I had no idea about that though. Like after the whole breakup, I'm like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch fake love. No, thank you. Like if they can't survive, who can?
I'm doing pretty good in my marriage, personally.
You're not Joshua and Olivia, man. I'm devastated. First Zach and Vanessa, now these two. High School Musical just can't produce good couples.
Dang right. Dang right.
I'm absolutely devastated, but I'm excited. May 14th. Okay. All right. We will be watching that in 2 months.
May 14th, yeah, because it'll jump on, and they're not ones to do it week at a time. They drop them all at the same day.
I was gonna say, I think they're a same day kind of thing.
They drop them all same day, so you'll finish that in 3 hours.
I was gonna say that's a quick watch.
Oh, absolutely.
Granted, I will have to wait for Alex, and watching a show with her probably worse than pulling teeth.
Oh,
maybe worse than getting your teeth pulled. I feel like pulling teeth, I'm not suffering. Getting my teeth pulled, that stinks.
Wow. Yeah, you are gonna have to do the waiting, kind of.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, you'll have to watch it with Samantha, right?
I will.
Yeah. So we'll both be like a year and a half later, like, oh, we just got through episode 5 of 12.
Well, that's my normal timeline. So like, I fall into the category of perfect.
Oh, you were already expecting to do that. Okay, that's fair.
Everything of mine is late. I mean, as we know on the podcast, I literally just watched Game of Thrones 6 years after it ended or whatever.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Like, it's been ended for a long time. And now I'm going back and watching all these like random YouTube videos of like different stuff.
Oh, like all the reviews or not reviews, but like the Easter eggs and that kind of stuff?
Easter eggs, like funny moments that are like behind the scenes.
Okay.
Theories that like Bran's the Night King and like all these different, like just different stuff.
I was going to say, I forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Because people are like, oh, they look alike and like all this garbage.
Yeah. So, I'm just kind of keeping up with all the good stuff now.
Yeah.
Finding out who they're married to, and
you missed out like when it was hot and popping back then.
I missed out, but I don't regret not watching it week by week and waiting 6 months in between seasons.
And it was fun because like all the theories and the thoughts of what could or would happen, that was a fun time.
See, those would be cool, but like, spoiler alert for those, if you're like me, Jon Snow dies at the end of a season.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to wait 6 months. And I heard, when I was watching these videos, he doesn't appear in any Comic-Cons or any meet and greets for 6 months because he's dead in the show.
Really?
And then when it went on, I think it's 7/1 when he came back, then he starts going and doing interviews and stuff again.
That's weird because like the Comic-Cons and stuff, like whether you're alive or dead, if you're a character from the show, you always have access to Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, you could go. I wonder if like he did it for like, or like
they're like, hey, don't do it that way. You don't give anything away on accident.
Maybe I don't know because like when they were talking about it, because they asked Arya Macy Star, whatever her name is, they were like, "Is Jon dead?" And she looks and she's like, "Well, Jon's not on the panel, so," and just like left it like that. And so that's a lot of questions that people asked around that time. Is Jon dead?
Oh, yeah.
But it's just funny, like. Sophie Turner is actually very hysterical.
Yeah.
They did one. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon where they talked about the Starbucks cup.
Oh yeah.
And like how it was hers because in this picture she was holding that exact Starbucks cup with another girl and blah 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 blah, and then how she disproved it because the picture that she was originally shown, that girl was dead like 2 seasons prior to, so that was shot 2 seasons.
Oh.
And now this is season 8, and it's sitting in front of Emilia Clarke, so that's who it's got to be. And like just playing off it, it was just so funny.
That's crazy because like when it first happened, so many people were like, "Oh, it must have been like a stagehand or whatever they're called, like the people, like just set people, like they're trying to blame it." But I think it was hers, Amelia's.
I'm
And
thinking
did you listen to the video of what's the Rockets mascot's name? Clutch.
Yeah, Clutch. I'm sorry.
She was at one of the Rockets games and he brought out a Starbucks cup to her.
Really?
Yeah, to Amelia. So that was like a hot Twitter topic, man. Like when Twitter was booming was during the Game of Thrones season.
I didn't know that.
But for Chris and Austin, we love you guys. Until next time, always remember we can't change the world unless we ramble. So keep on rambling.